So welcome to African Homecomers Day 2022. Welcome to African Homecomers Day 2022. My name is Ankweta Beatrice Achaleke. I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series, the publisher of Globuntu Books, and founder of Follow Me to Africa. You are tuned into African Homecomers Day 2022. And I am super excited. I hope you've been following the conversations from the onset. We are into expert session 2. We've done the intro, we've done the keynote, and we've done expert session 1, which was all about brothers and sisters who have returned to their country of origin, how their journey has been, and the impact that they are creating in their countries. And now we're moving into expert session 2, where we're meeting brothers and sisters who return not to their country of origin, but to another African country. And the question is, why another African country? And what is the difference between being back home and being in another African country? How has the journey been for them personally, but also how has it been in terms of the impact that they're creating in their community? We are streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So this event, this program is for kids and adults, whether you're on the continent or in the diaspora. This is all for you. So you want to get your children, get your food, get your whatever you want to drink, and join the screen and let's have this conversation together. We invite you to join the conversation by using the comment box. It doesn't matter whether you're joining from Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. Use the comment box to join the conversation because we want to hear from you. Celebrate our homecomers with us and tell us where you are. If you are an African in the diaspora, tell us where you are right now. What are your intentions? And do you plan to come home? And what are your perceptions about coming back to Africa? All of that we want to have right here. So Follow Me to Africa is that space where we have made it our responsibility or our agenda to help those of you who are still abroad, who want to come back to the continent. We want to really take you by the hand and make sure that we give you what you need in order to have a successful return back to the continent. All the people that are part of Follow Me to Africa are people who are walking the talk, the people who have returned and set up their businesses, who are in pursuit of their dreams and their greener pastures in Africa. So you are in the right hands, and we are happy to have you right here. So let me go in and get my guest. Let me go get my guest. They will introduce themselves to you, and you will get to see what we're talking about. So right now, we are going to Chad. We are going from Sao Tome to Chad, where we will meet my brother, Dr. Easy. I call him Dr. Easy. We know each other for a very, very long time from our time in Austria. And since then, he's been traveling the world and doing his thing. But right now, for some years, he's been back to the continent. And he says there is no place to be than in Africa. So my brother, Dr. Easy,
yes.
Will you please kindly introduce yourself and share with us, number one, why the decision to come back to the continent, all the places that you've been in, the decision to come back to the continent, and how that decision has been treating you so far.
Thank you very much, my sister Beatrice. I used to call you a young lady, La Dame de Fer. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience in this special session of African coming back home and stay. My name is Israel Ribeiro Da Souza. My mother is from Togo, my father is from Guinea-Bissau, so I'm from the Bo country. Yes, I was in Europe, in Austria, for a long time. Actually, I'm living, a point of correction, I'm living right now in Niamey, in Niger, where I'm working. I was in Austria for quite 8 years before going to Asia, Shanghai, Singapore, and before going to United States of America. All my journey, I saw the reality on the field, especially in Europe and even in America, and I decided it's just coming to me that I'm not having my place here. It's not my place to stay here as a medical doctor. It's not my place because these people that don't need me. My people need me more in Africa than here. Because when, for example, you're in Europe, you a medical doctor from Africa to Europe, you cannot, you didn't study there, so you cannot work right away. So they don't recognize your diploma. So you have to start everything. For example, the experience I was having in Austria, I got the place in Southampton region hospital when they allow me to assist as a visitor doctor, and yeah, you can see yourself as they treat you as you don't know nothing. And as one of the medical doctors said, now Dr. Telemann said, you are not considered. They will take the white, the second the Asian people, and the color is that matter. So I find out that okay, even though we started the same thing, we are not welcome here. And the same thing when I was having the opportunity to go to a state in Harvard, where I should study the, public health, and asked me whether I have the experience in Africa, at least a 3 years experience in Africa before I can be registered as a student for PhD for public health, and then find out, okay, no experience. They say it's very important. As African, I'm coming to this place, and they asking me that my place is the place, a very important place that people have to go for the study to get the knowledge before they come here to get their diploma. So I say, okay, uh, mm-mm, it's not my place here. I was in Alabama too. I found that it's something come to me in my heart, telling me that it's not my place here. My people need me more than these people. They don't need me here. So I decided to come back home to Africa. And you know, when you come back home, you face the reality on the field. It means you come back home to Africa, your mother home, mother's land, your mother's home. There's a law that you have to face, as Mr. Stephen said it. You have to go through the realities on the field. But it's something like a pride, but your people will not welcome you well. That this is the challenge you're going to face on the field for sure. So when you are back home, you have to put in your mind that you come for purpose, and you must love your motherland before coming back. Something deeper in your heart. You have to love your motherland before coming back home. I'm working in humanitarian area, and yes, uh, as a nutritionist, as a medical doctor, you have when you come back, you can see a lot of opportunities. And saying that, okay, what you have learned abroad, you can implement that on the field also. So I got chance to be involved in a UNV, for example, and they sent me to South Africa, especially in Lesotho, where I faced some realities also. And from there also they sent me to Trinidad and Tobago, where I work uh, in the two hospitals in Ikatos and Sidos. From there, you see that even though you are among your people with color, also they treat you like somebody coming from motherland. So some people will come to you, oh, are you from Nigeria? Are you from this part, Kenya, Ghana? Say no. You call another country, say, oh, we don't know. So you see that people they don't even know have the knowledge of Africa, even though they are having your color. So I said, okay, this is another issue to face. I got a chance again. They returned me back to another organization, called me to be their representative in Niamey, Niger, where I work since 2015 till today. And I find that, okay, there's a lot to do. My people, they need me here a lot. There is a lot of opportunities that as a medical doctor you know that okay, you must work on it to strength for example the healthcare system on the continent or in a motherland. You need to implement yourself. You need to go with a deeper heart, to go through certain things, uh, to get the knowledge. You need to go with a deeper heart, to go through certain things, uh, to get the knowledge. You need to go with a deeper heart, to go through certain things, to get the knowledge. You need to go with a deeper heart, to go through certain things, to get the knowledge. You need to go with a deeper heart, to go through certain things, to get the knowledge. even you have to face certain things on the field. You for sure. As we are in Imoa, for example, in Niger, we are all in Western Africa, and in West Africa, you don't need permit work to work in Niger, in Niamey, but they will ask you that. So those are the challenges you're going to face on the field when you are in Africa, and you have in mind to help.
Thank you, Dr. Easy. I am trying to juggling to send some content, some info to some speakers who are on the way. So I am juggling. I don't know, Mari, if you're there, please check on Mario. Mario is struggling to come in. I just sent him the link again. Thank you so much for that input. Challenges, we find them everywhere. But I think the joy of being back home is just something else. And Dr. Easy, you and I in Austria, we know the realities where, you are pushed into one sector. I mean, I knew you were working that side job on the Radio Africa. And
yes.
Trust me, I'm ashamed to say this. I even did not know that you're a medical doctor. I did not know until when I returned. But this is the reality, because when you're out there in some places, you're pushed into doing what the society wants you to do, not what you actually, not based on the qualifications or the expertise that you have. And that's one of those realities. And so irrespective of what it takes to be back to the continent, I think it's just another experience. And I think sometimes we come back with the expectation from out there. We want to bring the reality from out there, or we want to turn it 60% around or 120% around and say, okay, I'm back home. Home must receive me. And we forget, like Stefan said in the beginning, that you have to reintegrate. Home has changed, has evolved ever since you've been gone. So when you come back, you need to reintegrate yourself just like you did abroad, so that you find a space at home. And I think not expecting to be to get a red carpet where you have to walk on the red carpet, but rather to do the homework when you come back home. So I'm wondering where the rest of our speakers are. We are missing 3 of our speakers. While we do that, I think we've been saying that education is so important. Working on our mind is so important. And in one of my companies, Ubuntu Books, we write and publish books that give Africans a proud sense of their African identity. And if you allowed me, I'll just take you a quick round. Let's go visit Ubuntu Books, and then we'll be right back in the studio.
Okay.
So welcome from that quick break. We're back in the conversation. We are celebrating African HomeComers. This is African HomeComers Day 2022. And we are having an exciting conversation with people who have been in different places in the world, but who have successfully returned back to the continent and who are in pursuit of the African dream right here, right now, right with you, and in your midst in the continent. And I want to acknowledge the Tiny Tessa Consulting. You are participating in the conversation in a beautiful way. online. Thank you so much for your comments, which I'm going to blend in right now to show some of your comments. She says, we were sent a flyer. While this conversation is for all of us, sister, whether you, I don't know whether you're a brother or a sister, it is for all of us. Whether you were born in Africa and you went abroad and you came back, or whether you were born abroad of African descent, it's for all the melanated people. Let me put it that way. If you have melanin in you, this conversation is right for you and you're in the right place. I'm happy that you are here. We are descendants of slave trade. I would say we are descendant of enslaved Africans who were captured, Africans who were captured and enslaved. No African was born a slave, but they were labeled slaves. And I think sometimes we have to look at the language that we use. You know, none of us was born slave. We were made slaves. So I say you are descendants of great Africans who survived the torture that they were taking through across the ocean to the Americas and who were born there. So we celebrate you. Thank you for being here. And you're so welcome. We need to connect and talk some more. And when you say you can participate, of course, this is our space. We need to talk together. We need to share together. We need to build together because none of us can do this alone. We need all of us here. The mother continent, like Stefan said in the opening keynote, needs all of us to be on ground. Whether it doesn't matter which African country you choose to go in, as long as you're on the mother continent, this is what we're talking about. So you are very much here, welcome here, and we love to continue the conversation with you. And any one of you who is out there joining the conversation, please use the comment box to share your comments, share your ideas, and share your impressions, your dream. What is your dream? What is your perception about Africa? So I see South Africa is being indulgent to us. I saw my brother Dar on screen, like he's gone again. I know he was experiencing load shedding in South Africa. So while we wait for him to come, I want to invite you to send questions, send comments so that we can add you to the studio. You want to stay right up to the end because we have an incredible lineup for you as the day proceeds. And towards the end, we have a way forward plan for you that you don't want to miss. We are open to collaborations, we are open to conversations, we're open to storytelling, and we also have the destination Sao Tome on the program. I don't know whether you know where Sao Tome is, but you must know. If you're a melanated person, you need to absolutely know where Sao Tome is. If you don't, it's all right. We have a session planned for you where the right people will speak to you. So let me go back to my brother while he's here. Anthea, Sister Anthea, are you still here? And I see Dr. Maria das Neves is here as well with two profiles. I would like to use one, but I'm not too sure. Please show your face, my sister, Dr. Maria das Neves, so I know which profile is active for you and I can bring you up. So I'm waiting to hear from you. My brother is Dr. Easy. What would you say has been the big aha, like the big thing for you coming back to the continent? Let me tell you mine. When I was back in South Africa and I noticed that I could just walk down the street and be unnoticed. You see what I'm saying? That I can go unnoticed because I just blend in. And while in Austria, you were the usual suspect. You know, you gave me that title, damn the fair, Iron Lady, because I needed to be an Iron Lady in order to survive in Austria. So one of the things that I said to people is that I am no longer fighting. I'm just being. And I am rediscovering myself because I get the space to zoom in and to be me and not always be who I think people want me to be, or who people are always asking of me to be. What has been like your biggest thing, your biggest gain personally, being back to the continent?
You know, first of all, when I landed in Africa,
you're muted.
Okay. It's now okay?
You are muted.
It's okay now? It's okay now? Are you hearing me?
So while you're unmuting yourself, Tiny Consulting, Tiny Tessa Consulting, I see you, my sister. Next time, this is just the beginning. I really, really need you. I need to hear your story. I'll need you to come on board and share your story. So watch out for me. Inbox me your email address. I'll come after you and we will have that conversation in another space. So I really love that you're here. Exact language to use. Yes, 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 yes. We got to correct a lot of languages, you know. There's so many things that we need to correct about the perception that we've been given of our mother continent. So, and this conversation needs to be done with the children of Africa, those that were left behind, the children of those who were left behind, and the children of those who were forcefully taken away. We need to have this conversation so that we can honor our ancestors properly and set a new pace for healing and for reconciliation and restoration. So let me see, Dr. Izzy, is your microphone working now?
Yes. Are you okay with me? You hearing me?
You're still speaking, and I'm still not hearing you. I see that you're
You now
speaking, and I
hearing
can't
me?
hear you.
Oh God.
Oh, you can hear him. Then the problem is on my side. Okay, Dr. Izzy, go ahead. Just go ahead and speak. The
Yes, I'm
problem is
hearing
you.
you properly. It's okay? It's okay now? You hear me? It's okay now? You hearing me?
Yes, yes, it's okay.
I can go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. When I just landed in Africa, that was coming from states. I left the states straight to Africa. I landed in Dakar in Senegal. I feel myself free. You know, it's like you were in a prison and you come back. You feel yourself free. You know, I love traveling. For example, last time I was in Accra, in Ghana. Just I land in Accra is like I land in Togo, or I land in Guinea-Bissau, or I land in Niger. So I feel free in Africa. You have your soul down, and yeah, you have the fresh air. Your mind is completely with oxygen. You know, you breathe a good oxygen in Africa. So this freedom you feel, especially when you were in abroad before, you have this pressure in Europe before, or in America before. You have this pressure on you. For example, in China, they deny me to go even in a charter home. So you see, it's something that you feel bad about it, and when you come back to your homeland, it's something you say to yourself, oh, you breathe deeply, and yeah, you see that okay, you are in your motherland. It's like you enter in your mother's room and you feel secure. That was my feeling. Security, self-security. That was my experience, the first experience when I landed in Africa, come back to Africa. But now, when you go on field, you can see that the people, we see, they are seeing, they don't know that you come back. And maybe they think that, okay, you are returnee, or they throw you away from Europe, or yeah, a lot of things passes in the mind of people when you come back to Africa and you want to stay, especially you want to stay. You are not going back anymore. Let me tell you something. My mother-in-law was so angry that she didn't even know when she said it that I was in America with her daughter. When I got married, I went to America with my wife. She said that go to America with my daughter and come back. It's like you are the loser. You see, this kind of feeling, if you are not strong in mind, you cannot focus on your goal, on your objectives coming back in Africa. It's very, very important to have in your mind saying that, okay, when you are back home, there is something that your people will not receive, welcome you. For a few days, they will welcome you, but they don't know your mind. Once you say that you want to stay in Africa or you want to do your business in Africa, you are back to Africa, they no, people will run away from you. You don't have any friend anymore. You have to struggle alone. And yes, we are here for people who have in a mind to come. We are here for them to to contact us. We can give them the direction and support. It's a very, very important issue when you are back to Africa. Your first person, your first person who will face you is your own parents, your own brothers, your own sisters. They are the one who will face you first of all. They are the one who will fight you first of all. It's very, very important that we put that in our mind. So that will make you strong, knowing that, okay, um, the treat is in your house first. So that is it. Now you go
They
ahead.
say charity. They say charity begins at home, right?
Charity
So we have to
business.
start by doing the work. And I think when
Exactly.
we have done our own inner work, we have a different way of communicating with those around us that they understand where we're coming from, right? So, and this is what
Yes.
we're doing. Follow Me to Africa, the program that we're rolling out, is about creating the first stop where people can come to, where you meet people who are welcoming, people who are like-minded, people who have returned, that can guide you through getting into the hardcore people that may ask some of those
Exactly.
questions.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Let me go to let's go to South Africa and pick our brother. He's been waiting for a long time. Uh,
Okay.
Brother Dar, are you here? Please show up. Show
Yes,
up.
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you do video, or you're reduced to doing audio?
No, I'm limited on the bandwidth, so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, bro, you have been back as well. You've
Part
been
of
to
part of the African problem right there.
Part of the African opportunity. I would say that's an opportunity for HomeComers. Solar energy and alternative sources of energy. That's something that we should look into. I think the whole conversation is that the problem. But when we shift the paradigm, we change the conversation, we begin to see opportunities. And once we see those opportunities, we begin to, the shift coming, and we begin to look for solutions. So I'm saying the power challenge is the business opportunity that we should leverage on, because we know what it means to us. Maybe it's not important for the people that are coming in, the people that have been providing, but those of us who are coming in who see the need, I think we should be working on this. And bro, you've been to places, you have done things, you have transformed societies, you have your powerhouse of a different set of media expertise, and here you are today. So you're back to the continent and saying there's nothing like turning back. Tell us, what is your African dream? And before you go, let me go and share a video. Let me go share a video of that you sent to us, so that we maybe explains. So that is our brother Rem from Dar from AfroRem. Over to you, bro. Quickly introduce yourself and tell us about your African dream and where the journey is going to for you.
Oh, no, okay. I'll go directly right there to, you say dream. Mine is not much of a dream anymore. I'm actually living in it. So I don't classify it as a dream. AfroRen, as we were watching there, is just trying to redefine ourselves, how we see ourselves. And I know with these discussions, it's also trying to lure people who are still contemplating on coming back home, or their future and living diaspora. But to me, that's a personal decision right there. We can just highlight and be realistic. That's the other thing as well, especially those of us who have come back. It's not going to be easy for a lot of people who have left and they've been living abroad. And they've become accustomed to the pace and the way things are run in the Western world. And then on coming back as well, the other thing I urge a lot of us coming back is for us to be humble, to be so humble. It's a privilege for one to leave our home and go and study abroad or live abroad and absorb all the different cultures, all the other elements that can actually help you in this 21st century. And then you come back home to people who have never been probably outside their communities, let alone outside their countries. So that's another thing that we have to really be aware of for all of us who are coming back home, is to be humble, you know. And my own personal experience of coming back home, it starts with what is home? What do I call home? Because home, the home I know, is not the same home that I left. And upon coming back, you realize that you have to take whatever is available around you to build that home, that new home again. And I think that's where Africa we at. You know, we claimed back our independence. Well, most all the national, our countries are all free now, independent, supposedly. But it's no, we're not going to take ourselves back to pre-colonial times. We have to build with what we have, what is available now, what we have become. There is the mind of a colonizer, and then there is a mind of the colonized. All this we have to define, and it's part of decolonizing ourselves, our systems, everything, cleansing, I call it, because it is cleansing. We have been taken to a place where we are not comfortable, we know it, and we want to go back to a place where we are comfortable, which we are calling home. So it doesn't necessarily mean physically returning to the continent. No matter where you are, you know, you need to come home. And home is not the physical coming back to Africa. No, it is not. It is within. You have to find that within. And for myself, I don't define myself as coming back home. I define this whole experience is coming back to my senses, because it makes a whole lot of sense. But that's a personal experience. It didn't make much sense for me to continue living abroad. And at the same time, starting what I started is this Afro Renaissance, the African Renaissance. If it's going to be a Renaissance, the rebirth, it cannot be born in New York. It has to be born here and let it spread to all the other places. Because here is where the seed of Africa is and was planted. So nurturing the roots, no matter where you are, will keep you up strong and stand amongst all others. I was listening to the introduction by my beloved sister, Dr. Arikana. Brilliant, you know, but let's not leave it just at his speech. Let's act on it. And part of this conversation that we are having, I think, will help, you know, in enhancing what she said in that introduction. A lot was said, but one thing I urge to most Africans is we have to stop blaming. If we are to blame, let us blame ourselves. It is the political arena has become a game. And not just the political arena, the world itself, everything that is run around, it has become a game. Let us sharpen ourselves, our skills, and play the game at the same level as everybody else. But most of us have sharpened our skills and we're playing on the wrong field. The field is back here. We can never be stars wherever we are. You'll never be regarded as stars, you know. But when we play here, we're gonna score here. We are busy scoring in all the other places. I mean, realistically, when you look everywhere, there are so many successful individual Africans. Let's be successful collectively. That's going to change our mindsets. That's what it's all about. I applaud, think of, as absurd as it sounds, the colonizers who came here, they had a strategy. They had strategy of creating nations in their own interest. And they went ahead and they did it. That's why we're here. That's why we're having these discussions, because we are subjects of those strategies. What strategies do we have as Africans collectively? In the short term, in the long term, do we have any? What organizations
Bro, let me come in there. Let me come in
Yes.
there. I think I'm urging us to kind of, the conversation that I do today is, what is it that I can do today? What is it that I can do? Because if each one of us can do something in their space,
My
collectively
sister,
it will be much.
I totally hear
Once
you.
we are looking for the collective, and we do that conversation of what do we don't have, if we point on the things that we don't have, it doesn't take us forward. Some people feel tired, but when you look around, look at Dr. Easy, look at Anthea, look at Bishop Berry, who is not here, look at Maria Banga, look at Mario, look at those that we don't even know. So much is going on. The fact that we don't know makes us think that nothing is going on. And the fact that sometimes we want to take the credit, like I'm the first to do this. This is what I tell myself. Africa is a continent that is bigger than America, than Europe, Asia, and South America all put together. Africa has, they say, 1.4 billion people. I don't know how many cities. It has 55 sovereign states. And I don't even know the tiny country that I come from, not even my village, not even my town. And so this doesn't, I can't possibly say Africa is this way because I don't even know it, and my ignorance take me to belittling so much that is happening that I don't know. So what I tend to do in my own healing journey is looking at me and say, what is going on inside of you? What is it that you're doing today? And who do you meet along the road as you're going that you can connect with and still do this to add value to what you're doing, rather than, the politicians do, like they're not, they should. I look at me, and I think, again, when we look at ourselves, what needs to be done become easier, because I know for me that this is what I can do today and I'm doing it consistently. That's the change. Sorry, bro, I just needed to interject.
No, thank you very much. That's very good. I hear you. What I'm saying is what we can do, and what I'm doing for me is hopefully it enlightens others, or it triggers something within oneself. And don't expect an easy walk. Like I hear you saying, to make things easier. There is nothing easier when, especially contemplating on the things that we are trying, collectively, we are trying to change. Change doesn't come easy. I think we all know that. And that's what we need to be geared for. What I'm actually advocating for also are strategies, and let these strategies be well defined, and on platforms like this. And I hope this is not a one-off things, but this is just the beginning of a journey. And as transparent as we can be, I think by airing our issues and all these things, that's where we start. Biggest problem with us is we're not united. We are not on it starts right there with the families, within the families, and it's all because of this system which was planted on us, which we had no part in. We didn't take any part in creating this system. It wasn't done in our favor. No, we know that. But we have to replace it. And this goes down to the whole, when I'm saying system, I'm referring to the education system, judicial system, all this, whatever system need to be looked at again. And that's what we ought to be discussing in such platforms.
I agree with you. That's why we're here. And you're very right. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. We're not just going to be discussing, but we're going to be networking. We're going to be and finding partners and doing strategic businesses, doing projects together. This is the invite that Follow Me to Africa is putting out to you. We're not doing one event. We commit. When we commit, we go a long way. So thank you so much for that input and for challenging us. I will take another quick break. We're still talking about our minds. I will take you to visit some other Globuntu books, resources that we use to work on our minds. They are resources that are developed to give Africans and melanated people a sense of their African the African identity. And just one quick one, and then we'll get back to the conversation. So we have so many projects going on. So we'll come back to that. You're tuning to follow me to Africa. Yes, Africa Homecomers. They follow us to Africa. We are all Homecomers, and we're proud Homecomers. If you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, please feel free to use the comment box like little tiny Kessel is doing. She's incredible, and I would love to have her in the studio the next time. So if you're out there, join the conversation and by using the comment box. If you have a question, you can share. You have an experience, you can share. You have a vision, you have a doubt, whatever it is on your mind. This is an open learning space, so bring yourself into the conversation. That said, I'm regretting that two of our incredible homecomers are not here. Ghana is not here, and the other South Africa is not here. These are two people that are doing amazing work. Dr. Bishop Beryl Nalova is doing so much work in Ghana. She is just, I don't know where she gets her inventions from. She just goes from one invention to the next. She's doing community work. She's into so many things that I would really have loved her to be here. I don't know what thing she has a challenge running. And Mario Marito, who is a social entrepreneur, who has a very, very interesting journey as well. He went from being a refugee and a homeless person in the Netherlands to becoming a diplomat for 7 years. And after 7 years, he quits the diplomat job to go back to South Africa to pursue what he always wanted to do, which was set up an enterprise that will empower people. So he's there, he has a mobile car wash, and he's setting up a factory to manufacture laundry powder, detergent and laundry powder. That's what he's doing in South Africa, and he's just an incredible powerhouse as well. It's a pity that they're not here today, but I hope that I'll bring them up in the next conversation. Let me go back to my brother, Dr. Izzy. You're not in Jamena, you're in Niamey. You're in Niamey.
Yes.
What was the decision? I mean, you are already Pan-African from your birth, but what was the decision to go to Niamey, and how is life like there for you, being in a third country?
First of all, coming to Niamey, I came in 2015 with the NGO, German NGO called Umedica International. Is a health NGO. They sent me to Niamey to be their representative in Niamey. So I was the head of mission in Niamey. Once I finished with them 4 years, to 2019, I decided to stay in Niamey because I find out that in Niamey there is a lot of opportunity in a health issue because the health structure is missing a lot, and a lot of medical doctors, the condition, the climate change and other issues are very, very rude in Niger. So the nutrition situation also is very, very rude. And then I said, okay, let me settle and help people. So we're working together with Humanitarian Niger, which is a local NGO that I'm working with. I'm responsible of health issues. So we're trying to open right now our health center, called, this is for, how you call it, la re-education for kinesiotherapy and physiotherapy, because what's happening is that we find out that there's no facilities of these subjects in the country. If only it's a national hospital that is doing that, helping people with that. So we are opening that to help people, because a lot of accidents among youth people living when they have an accident, or they have the throat and other things, they have the sickle after the treatment. They don't have the follow-up after the treatment. So there is coming very challenging with youth population, and making them being disabled to work, or we can easily correct this affection or this immobility for them, and they can come to the working market. Then nowadays, it's very very difficult for them to when they have this circuit with them, and it's not easy for them. So they become in charge again. They become charge for the family again. Instead of helping the family, they are in charge of. They are becoming charge. So that means that the family have to help them again. So they become a problem for the society, for the community, for the population. So we are trying to recuperate them, to bring them to our center, to give them a good education, a good physiotherapy, so they can be able to become normal and go ahead with their activities. That we are facing right now with the nutrition issues is a very very important issue from the country, because with the climate change in Niger is very very going badly right now. And also this terrorism attack also bring people to display, to internal display, displaced. Yes, they go to from the village to another village, or they create the internal camp where they stay. So no activities for them, become very very challenging for the government, for the NGOs, for the population. So that we're trying to do now in the country to help them. We have a project that we are sharing with friends to come and help us. Why not to do that job, to help people. That's we are going to right now in Niamey.
Okay, bro. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you right there. We are running out of time for this session, but I will invite you to come into the next session, because that's where we're going to do the challenges. That's where we have more space to discuss. This time we have to close this for now. So my brother Dar and my brother Dr. Easy, I will see you in the next link. Click on the next link. We are going on to the session called Challenges and Opportunities. And we are inviting all those who are joining us online. That's where you come and bring all your questions. We want you to be a participant right there. So we're closing this one now, and we will see you in the next one. Just click on the next link on your program, Dr. Easy, and my brother Dar, you are a doctor for me as well. The doctor of the media.
Oh, no, not doctor. Oh, please, that's a big
doctor
mistake.
Of the
media. maybe you say wise man.
Okay, whichever way, let's meet in the next session,
Yes.
please, and continue the conversation from there. And all our other speakers, please join in the next session. Come into the studio. Let's take it up there and share some challenges and opportunities that we have seen on our homecoming journey. So see you right there.